Welcome, Joy.
Hello. Okay, well, I have three poems for you today. The first one is called My Mother is an Onion, My Wife is a Sardine, and it's kind of inspired by all the fishiness around the river. You remind me of a sardine, he said. Well, I was hurt. If he had to compare me to a fish, for goodness sake, surely he could have chosen something with a little class. A salmon, maybe, majestically battling adversity, struggling upstream towards fulfillment. Or a trout with sun sparkling off kaleidoscopic rainbow scales. He could have called me a shark, swift and dangerous, a peacockish angelfish, or perhaps a regal koi. Any of these, I thought, would be a simile that I could accept. But a sardine? Hardly glamorous, hardly flattering, a workaday dull fish, and, which is worse, a convenient fish. He smiled, lifted a hand, and touched my cheek. I like sardines, he said. Okay, forgive me on this one. I realised this morning I didn't have a river poem, so I wrote a river poem. I hope it's not too bad. It needs some work, but this river, this Manawatu, is not my river. It is too wide and passes too quickly. No weeping willows trail idle fingers along its surface, making narrow channels for mayflies to flit through. The stones, tumbled by the swift current, chatter in accents quite different from the languid drawl of the sleepy English Avon. This is not a river in which you can play poo sticks. It is easy to say why it made Ho's heart stand still. Easy to see why, gazing at its churning breadth, he might have been tempted to give up, go back, find the familiar. I shared his temptation. Instead, I waded in, let it pick me up like a feather of that other immigrant, the sparrow, and sweep me into its collage of punga bark and fern fronds. I let it still my heart and set it beating again in syncopated rhythm. This river is not my river. It is not part of me, but it has taken me, turned me, claimed me, and directed me. We travel together now. And one more short one. It's called Hypocrisy, this one. A product of the 70s, post-hippie, pre-cynic, I embrace causes. Politics, attitude, peace, all green. I reuse, recycle, sponsor third world children. I campaign for rainforests, against debt. I spend countless checks, tons of time in trade aid stores and charity catalogues, buying biodiversity. And yet, I would not weep for the extinction of sandflies.